Hi guys, it's Jackie M here. I hope this is working okay. Cyan, if you're watching this, let me know if there's any problems. But yeah, hi, this is Jackie M, and I am the ambassador for the upcoming Summer Fruit Festival. So over the course of the next week and a half, I'm going to be doing daily live video broadcasts showing you what to do with your fruit and vegetables that you buy from your local greengrocer. Literally your local greengrocer, okay? It's yourlocalgreengrocer.com.au. Check it out, and it will have a list of greengrocers that support this program, where we support the central market distribution of fresh fruit and vegetables within New South Wales. If you want to comment, I should, in theory, be able to see your comments come through here. So fire away, and I'll try and answer any questions at all while I'm doing this. And today, for a change, I'm doing something that's actually not quite Asian. And funnily enough, I was just over at my local greengrocer, your local greengrocer, just over a couple of minutes away from me. And I picked up some eggplant and some banana chilies. Now, these are actually the smaller version of banana chilies. Usually they're larger. I picked them smaller because I wanted to do something Asian with them. But as I was checking out at the checkout, I noticed there's all these jars, right, of these. Apparently, I think they're Serbian, but they're labeled as roast chili relish, something like that. And I had a look at the ingredients, and I'm intrigued to try it because they essentially contain chilies and eggplant. Exactly what I picked up, and I've got some garlic in my fridge. I always have garlic in my fridge, and I thought, let's try this and see how it turns out. So it's my first time trying this recipe. Fingers crossed it turns out okay. Now, I just want to give a quick shout out to all the my sponsors and the sponsors of this event. First of all, I want to give a shout out to Lenovo, who provides all the hardware for me to be able to run these broadcasts. So I've got a beautiful Lenovo gaming laptop over here that I'm using to run my broadcast from. I've got a Rode microphone, and Rode's been a great supporter of mine over the years. And of course, Sunbeam Australia, they are supporting the upcoming Summer Fruit Festival by supplying all the appliances for me to run my cooking demonstrations with, right? And the Summer Fruit Festival, if you're based in Sydney, Australia, is going to be running over starting next Thursday. So just over a week away, and it's going to be on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday over in Tumbalong Park, over in Darling Harbour. Go and check it out because there are lots and lots of fun activities, stalls, and that sort of stuff that you check out. And I will be there as well, and I will be doing cooking demonstrations on the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday a couple times a day. And beyond that, I'll be hanging around, shooting some video, talking to some people. So it's going to be really, really fun. I'm looking forward to it. Okay, now what are we doing today? So I've got the banana chilies. Like I said, you can find these at your local greengrocer. I don't usually see these. In fact, I don't think I've ever seen these at your regular supermarket, right? So go to your local greengrocer, support small business, support Australian fair fruit and vegetable distribution, eggplant. And what I've done, I've gotten a start on this earlier. Just let me see if I can move this camera a little bit because I want to show you. I've got a Sunbeam. Hang on. Here we go. Can you see that? Okay. So here you go. That's my dinky little Sunbeam oven. And what I did earlier was I basically just put in some of the chilies, the banana chilies, and also the eggplants over here. They're completely unmarinated, nothing at all. Just chucked them in whole and roasted them for about 40 minutes all up at about 230 degrees, just on a. That was just using a regular setting, basically an automated setting on the oven. Okay, so now these are my that's my roasted eggplant, and the way I did it was basically I pricked the surface of the eggplant. I'm only using half an eggplant, and I really probably should have needed more chilies, but here you go. These are just roasted. You can roast them blacker if you want, and what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to scrape the flesh off of them. I'm a little disorganized today because I've just been struggling with trying to buy some software online, and it's driving me insane. I was rendering yesterday's broadcast using a trial version of the software, and I thought, okay, this looks great. After spending an hour and a half editing a video, I wanted to buy it because otherwise your rendered video has a watermark on it and it wouldn't let me buy it. So I'm just a little bit behind with all this. Now let's see if I can just do this here. Okay, now what I want to do is scrape off the flesh, and I'm going to cook it with some of the garlic, and I probably need a knife because I want to just smash the garlic so that I can cook this properly in my saucepan. So just give me a second. Okay, so I've got my cleaver over here. This is a Chinese cleaver supplied by Victorinox. I like to give shout outs to people who help me with doing what I do. So I'm just smashing these down a little bit. That just makes it cook a little bit easier, okay? Okay, so we've got that. I like lots and lots of garlic, so the more garlic, the merrier. So I've got that. Now, and what I'm going to do is just kind of like, first of all, like I said, I've roasted these in the oven, just on a regular setting. Just throw them on a rack, roast them for about 40 minutes, about 230 degrees. And now I'm going to scrape off the flesh. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cook them in a frying pan. Like I said, if you've got any questions at all, post them online. Hopefully I don't miss them because I'm looking at my camera, and unfortunately my camera is on a tripod this time around because I'm trying to capture the entire workspace without so that people can actually see what's happening on top. Okay, so if you were watching this yesterday, you will have seen this beautiful Sunbeam Dimple Tech frying pan, right? Because I was using it yesterday to do my sugar syrup for the sweet potato donuts. So I'm gonna get this plugged in and start heating it up. Okay. And I'm gonna throw in some oil. Some friends of mine gave me this olive oil. I don't usually buy olive oil, to be honest. So it's just as well I've got some over here. So I'm gonna throw that in. I'll say I'll probably need a bit more oil, but we'll add it on later on. And I'm gonna throw in the garlic. There's a couple more that just need smashing. Okay, like I said, this is my first time trying this. I've no doubt it'll taste great because I love eggplants and I love chilies. And these are actually very, very mild, these banana chilies. So if you want a bit more heat, you can actually use, you can mix them with like some of the Chinese chilies that are more, they've got a bit more kick to them. And that's what I usually do. And even, you know, even chili powder, if you don't have any like hot chilies. So the great thing about these banana chilies, these big giant banana chilies, is that they're quite cheap. I bought these for $3.99 per kilo earlier. And the flavor is not too dissimilar to capsicum or peppers as they call them in America, right? But basically, they were essentially half the price of what capsicum cost at the time of the year. So when you're typing recipes, don't be afraid to use, you know, to substitute with ingredients that are in season. So banana chilies are in season and they're cheap. So that's what I'm using now. So I'm just basically peeling off the skin from these. I'm just trying to keep an eye to see if anyone comments on any questions at all. And don't forget, if you want a copy of this recipe, we do the recipe after we've done the broadcast. So just post your comment in my broadcast to say recipe please, and we'll send it through to you, okay, via Facebook. Okay, so this is what it looks like. And like I said, you know, that Serbian recipe, I forget what it's called now. But that Serbian recipe actually suggests you completely roast it till it's completely black. So I haven't quite done that. But this works for me. Okay, so it's still quite juicy. I'm just going to put it around. And the skin peels off really, really easy once it's been roasted, because it's all loose by that stage. Okay, so as far as appliances I'm using today, I'm using I used the Sunbeam tabletop oven earlier to roast these in. And the great thing about the tabletop oven is that it's got a lot of preset settings. So I just use a preset setting for, I think pizza or something like that. And I did that twice over because the pizza setting was like for 20 minutes. And I after 20 minutes it beeped and I just set it for another 20 minutes. So that was pretty easy. I'm just going to turn this down a little bit from max at the moment. And don't be afraid when you're cooking, whatever it is that you're using. A lot of people get quite, I think, just by virtue of my having run cooking classes for a number of years, is that I notice when people do any kind of stir frying or pan frying, they tend to forget to adjust the temperature of whatever it is they're cooking. So they either end up having the temperature set too low and for the whole duration, or they have it too high and they end up burning it. Okay, so just be a little bit intuitive as to whether you need to turn down or turn up the temperature while you're cooking, and it's just a matter of time before it becomes second nature to you. So just scraping this down. I'm sure it'll taste delicious because, like I said, I love roasted vegetables, and especially roasted capsicum or banana chilies in this case, and roast eggplant. Okay, so you can imagine these two combined with garlic and some olive oil and pan fried. Okay, I'll put one more chili here. So if you're just joining me, like I said, I'm doing a live daily video broadcast on Facebook at Jackie M Food. If you're not watching on Facebook, it's just facebook.com/Jackie M Food. And I'm doing it daily every weekday, leading up to the upcoming Summer Fruit Festival, where we celebrate healthy eating, lots of fruit and lots of vegetables. And I'm just showing you a few recipes you can do with this, right? So just let me move this out of the way. And in case you're wondering, I know a lot of Aussies get intimidated with live broadcasts. If you've got any questions about that aspect, I've been doing live broadcasts for a number of years now. So if you're curious about the technology and all that, you know, the bandwidth, the platforms that I use, the kind of hardware I use a Lenovo. I'm using a Lenovo gaming laptop today, which is an IdeaPad Y700. So if you're serious about running live broadcast, that's certainly something you can consider. And I also sometimes use my Lenovo ThinkPad as well, also another beautiful, beautiful laptop that you can fold up and you can write as well as a touch screen thing. Okay, so look out for your Lenovo gaming laptop or a ThinkPad. This is an X1 Yoga. I'm just turning this back up a little bit. So this is garlic, roast eggplant, and roast banana chilies. You can use capsicum or what they call peppers. And if you want a bit more heat in it, you can use those Chinese or Asian chilies as well. So this smells great. And I'm going to add a bit of salt in this. Usually they suggest sea salt, but I'm not sophisticated enough to incorporate sea salt into my cooking. So that's just good old table salt. And if you've got black pepper, you can throw some black pepper in there. So we just want to cook this to kind of like reduce some of the moisture. And the last step with this is that we're going to puree this in my Sunbeam blender, okay? So any questions, don't forget to post it over here. And I'll try and keep an eye on this because like I said, my video camera is like, just let me try and position this a little bit. Okay, right, so hopefully I can see any questions. And don't forget, if you want the recipe, just, hello Hera, good to see you. If you want the recipe, just put a comment, say recipe please, and we'll send it to you via Facebook messaging, right? You can hear the sizzling, which means there's still quite a bit of liquid in this. And you'll want to store it in a jar and keep it in the fridge. It'll keep for a couple of weeks. But the less liquid, generally the rule of thumb is in terms of like how well food keeps. The rule of thumb is basically the less moisture there is, the longer it will keep. All right, so that's the reason why we're sauteing this at the moment. And like I said before, this is a Sunbeam Dimple Tech frying pan. Is a special new technology that cooks really, really well. I'm really impressed with it. It's going to convert me into an electric fry pan person, which I never have been before. If you watch any of my broadcasts, you know I usually use gas cooking, right? But this is fantastic. And the reason I use gas cooking is I always assume that electric fry pans don't have enough oomph, you know, to do the sort of cooking that I want to do. But this one is pretty damn good. Okay, so this has reduced quite a lot. And if you're just joining me now, all I did previously was pre-roast the eggplant and the banana chilies on a tray in my Sunbeam desktop oven. And now this is my Sunbeam blender, right? And I'm gonna throw them in here. And this blender, I haven't used it. This is my first time using it, but this blender actually can cook your soup for you as well. So if ever you wanna make like a pumpkin soup or whatever, you can throw the pumpkins, throw the liquid and all the seasonings, and then it's got all these preset settings. And all you have to do, if I can figure out how to open this, literally I'm not kidding, this is my first time using this. Okay, I should probably read the instruction manual. Okay. I think I peeled this open. Okay, there you go. Okay, so if you can see this, right? That's my, it's actually, you know, to be honest, you can probably eat it as is, but let's puree it. This is your eggplant and banana chili relish. And don't forget to just mention in the comments that you want the recipe and we'll send it to you, okay? Just scraping this down. Okay, this goes in here. Cover it. Cover it. Turn it on. Okay, just accidentally pressed it. Okay, speed 2, let's just increase the speed to 3. See how it looks. Okay, let's do it a little bit longer. Let's take it off. I'm just going to taste test this a little bit. If I need to adjust it or anything like that, I will. I might add a hint of sugar to this, right? And a little bit more olive oil as well. The sugar is a really Malaysian thing because we like to balance everything out with like a bit of sugar, a little bit of salt, and that sort of stuff. And if you like your relishes a bit more piquant, you can add like a dash of lemon juice in this as well, right? So it's all entirely a personal preference thing. Okay, let's go. See how powerful it is. Okay. That's fantastic, actually. There you go. Can you see this? Okay. So you can throw this in a jar and you can serve it with your roast meat or with whatever else. You can use it as a spread on your toast. But really, really simple to make. Okay, so all that's in there is just eggplant, garlic, and banana chili, and you can use any kind of chili. You can use capsicum or whatever. Usually, I believe, just based on my research, you would have double the amount of chilies to eggplant, right? Mine is more like a 50-50 split because of, I didn't have that many chilies on hand. But just roast it in the oven for about 40 minutes and then scrape off the flesh and cook it, saute it with a bit of salt, a bit of pepper, and some olive oil, and there you go, and just blend it in your blender, and that's your relish that you can use, and it will keep quite well in the fridge, probably at least 2 weeks. Give it a go. Let me know how it turns out. Don't forget to post in your comments if you want a copy of the recipe. We'll send it through, and I hope to see you if you're based in Sydney at the Summer Fruit Festival starting next Thursday. And that's from Thursday through to Sunday, and I'll be cooking on stage, and I look forward to seeing you. And in the meantime, don't forget daily live video broadcasts here, okay, at Jackie M Food, facebook.com/JackieMFood, and I will see you tomorrow. Thanks, guys. Ciao.